Back at Shelby for the NCOSSCA Senior All-Star Game. It's the boys match now between the Mansfield area squad and the SBC squad, the best seniors in North Central Ohio, going at it one final time in their careers. We have all the action coming your way on your smartphone, TV, PC, tablet, any smart device you have, and it's coming your way next.
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
He takes the Tostitos, fakes left, goes right, and dives into the salsa. Now that is how you bring home the snacks.
What is he doing? Preparing for his next career as a commentator.
Isn't he young for that?
All the best players get broadcast deals these days.
Bill's Mafia is going absolutely crazy down here. Isn't that right, Billy? So true, so true. Back to you, Josh. Back to you. Now let's go down onto the field for the coin toss. Doesn't get much better than this.
Good afternoon. Happy Sunday to all of you out there in internet land, and welcome to the boys version of the NCOSSCA Senior All-Star Game, Mansfield area versus the SBC. I'm Travis Berardi alongside Hayden Gray. And Hayden, one more time for these seniors to get out here on the pitch.
Yeah, awesome opportunity for those upperclassmen to come out, you know, play with some of those people that maybe you're friends with from opposing teams or in club league with, and one final time with some of your other fellow teammates as well. So always a fun time to get out here and have one more, you know, stakes-free matchup for your high school career.
As we welcome you inside the Directions Credit Union pre-match, just, you know, great season for most of these teams. You know, you had here in the area Lexington make it to a regional level before falling to eventual state champion line at Shawnee, Ontario making a district final, Worcester winning a district for the first year in a while, Mansfield Christian as well, Mansfield Senior Boys Soccer on the up and up, and then on the other side, some of these good Sandusky-based squads in Huron, Norwalk, Perkins, Port Clinton, Vermilion, Willard, all of these players, you know, really showing out this year, and a lot of accolades that we will show you as the match goes on. But looking forward to it, Hayden. But one thing that we don't want to see is the snow is starting to fall once again. You know what happened last year, and, well, we'll see.
Yeah, last year sits in a permanent place in my heart. That's not a very happy one about how the weather took place and took form last year. The boys did get to play their full last match here. The girls didn't. But, yeah, ironically here, the other order today, the snow starting for the guys. But I think we're going to avoid the whiteout that we saw last year, hopefully.
And we are underway. The home squad, which will be the Mansfield area team, will be in their dark kits, while the SBC plus Mansfield St. Peter's Angelo Gasper will be in whites. Angelo from St. Peter's is in goal to start, but we are underway. Yeah, a lot of players, you know, a lot of rivals playing for the same squad, a lot of OCC teams here, Ontario as well playing together, and then on the other side, you know, in the SBC, those rivals going as well. I'm interested to see how the Ontario and Lexington players will be playing together today, Hayden. You know, they are always in heated battle out there on the pitch when they play. They played twice this year.
Yeah, I'm always interested to see how those things kind of play out. I think it was alluded to possibly when I heard you and Brian during the girls' match, or maybe it was just Brian, but, you know, there are some rivalries. But today anymore, it seems like some of these kids are, you know, very friendly with one another outside of athletics or might play club together. So we'll see if there's any inter-squad drama or, you know, maybe they'll collide and be really spectacular.
Gage Weaver with the first shot, but Gasper with the diving save. The Mansfield area squad once again in there. Nice cross pass right at Brandon French. He has it, crosses it back in. It's deflected away again, and it will be pushed out. But a lot of, you know, all Ohioans on this Mansfield area squad. The likes of a Gage Weaver who took the first shot. And let's take a look at his player spotlight brought to you by the Ontario and Clear Fork Boosters. Gage Weaver, first team All-Ohioan, 37 goals this year, Hayden, 14 assists. He was the Warriors' leading scorer as Ontario won another MOAC championship in Division II.
Yeah, I can't speak highly enough about Mr. Weaver. He's always a really well-spoken guy. You know, you take a look at any of his interviews with the OH Report. Great player and a phenomenal career for him.
Nice diving attempt and a save there by Angelo Gasper. But the Mansfield area squad will get the corner kick, a quick flick in. As you see French working his way around. That's going to be headed out. And it'll be another corner kick for the Mansfield squad. As you see their roster players for the Sandusky Bay area.
Yeah, just look at that list of accolades down the whole side. Almost every single guy out here is a district mention, first team, second team, all the above.
The corner is headed away right back to French. Got through one defender, but again, it'll be another corner for the Mansfield area squad as you take a look at their roster players. Once again, brought to you by Directions Credit Union.
Another stacked list of guys. You know, that's the incentive of these type of matches is for any sport is getting a bunch of kids together that are really good at what they do and just seeing what happens. You know, you don't know what to expect when you do that. It could either be super high scoring or low scoring, but always entertaining for us folks at home.
And also 2 district players of the year on this squad up as forwards, Brandon French, like I said, but Alex Depperschmidt as well. And I will say the D3 player of the year is on the other side in Connor Schaefer of Huron. But, yeah, another shot goes wide, and finally the SBC squad will get a chance to clear it out here. As that's deflected out, it'll be a throw-in for the Sandusky Bay squad. But they are backed by Angelo Gasper from Mansfield St. Peter's. As we take a look at his player spotlight brought to you by the Ontario and Clear Fork Athletic Boosters, 2-time conference and district first team, 2-time conference and district honorable mentions, as he flicks that one away. Possibly broke 3 state records this year. The OHSA is reviewing that right now, the film and the stats taken by St. Peter's, and 2-time MVP, iHeartRadio Athlete of the Week as well, the week that he possibly broke a state record for saves. But a great piece to that St. Peter's squad. It's trying to get back. And another diving save that's flicked out, and he's shown out already early on, Hayden.
Yeah, that's exciting. While you're talking about the guy, he makes 2 more key plays early on in this All-Star game to avoid some early scores against some guys that, you know, being from St. Pete, that he would be a little bit more familiar with going up against this Mansfield team. So SBC gladly welcoming him to their group today.
And now I believe the 4th corner kick for the SBC, for the Mansfield squad, as they're just continuing to pepper the net.
Opt to go with the little flick out to the outside again. No one home, though.
And now SBC trying to advance it up, but it's going to be kicked back to Brady Schultz of Worcester. And again, they're on the offensive.
And this Mansfield team is loaded with guys, like you said, that are big-time scorers and love that offense. So I think that's what we're going to try and see a lot out of them, one, to control the ball. If I recall, it was kind of a similar story last year, too. The SBC has a lot of speedy guys, but the Mansfield area team probably more of the aggressor on the offensive side.
Trying to advance it in, but it's stopped by the Worcester player. That's either Schofield or Quinzilli. So SBC finally trying to get a little bit going on the Mansfield side of the pitch. Just underway here in the boys' side of the NCOSSCA All-Star game.
Depperschmidt getting crafty with the footwork. Ball kicked out of bounds, though, so another corner kick coming for those Mansfield area All-Stars. Really making St. Pete goalkeeper work out there.
As we welcome Chris back in.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. A lot of accolades from both sides here. We were just showing the lineups. Brandon French, Alex Depperschmidt playing as starting forwards today for one side, and then Schaefer on the other. But this is a little bit more balanced. We'll see Mansfield team, Sandusky Bay Squad didn't have to intertwine some of the players for this one.
Yeah, well, it's something we've done on the boys' side for the last couple of years, actually kind of at their request. I mean, we talked about this at our district meeting with the coaches, and they kind of like this setup as far as kind of north versus south. So we'll see whether we have a good competitive game here. Hopefully we do. We have them in the past. So right now it looks like the Mansfield area's kind of had the run of the action to begin with, but maybe the SBC folks can get something going here. So.
And we're going to get a foul, the first foul of the match.
It's like a little handball.
Or a handball, yeah. But a great job to start by Angelo Gasper from St. Peter's, possibly a state record holder in a couple of things.
OHSA is goal over here?
Yeah,
okay.
Right. Possibly a couple state records. The OHSA is still reviewing that, but he's come up big here, at least early on for St. Peter's. One of those players that you had to throw onto the other side.
Yeah, I think it was a positional thing there as far as goalkeepers are concerned. But I think the Mansfield area has a couple keepers. They have Griffin Baker, who was second team All-Ohio this year from Mansfield Christian, and then Griffin. Two Griffins, right?
Yes.
Griffin Blakely from Clear Fork. So yeah.
And also, not only on the field, but off the field, some great student athletes as that cross goes out and it'll be a goal kick.
Yes. The primary thing, obviously, we want to recognize our senior All-Stars, but this is also an opportunity to recognize and give away some scholarship money. So we give away two $1,000 scholarships, one to one female, one to one male, and our boys winner this year is Braxton Hunt from Ashland. Now he's not playing, which I'm not quite sure why, but he is going to show up here at halftime, and so I can present that check to him. So.
Congratulations to him. He'll show up for that if you
get
a little bit of cash that way.
I'll show for $1,000 as well. Yes. So.
And then not only that, but we have some coaches honors and referee honors as well.
Yes. On the J.P. Lytle from Worcester was recognized as the state Division I Boys Coach of the Year. And then we take one more. Ooh, nice save.
Nice diving save again by Gasper.
So he down at that state meeting, which I represent the district at the state meeting, then we also vote on, we take the coaches of the year from each district, and then we do a second vote for a big school, small school coach of the year that we advance on to the national organization, United Soccer Coaches, for national honors. And JP was selected the Ohio Big School Coach of the Year. So that's a nice honor there. So his name will be submitted or moved forward at the national level for the United Soccer Coaches Association Public Coach of the Year, National Coach of the Year. So.
We'll get another corner here for
Yep.
Mansfield.
And then
But
Dave Lamport
Yeah.
from Ontario was the state assistant coach of the year in boys D2. Andy Bear, who is one of our officials today, was not only our district referee of the year, but also the voted the state referee of the year. And then on the girls' side, Elizabeth Webb from Crestview won the state Sportsmanship, Ethics, and Integrity Award winner. So, and that's the second year in a row that a coach from our district has won that. Last year, Michelle Bear won that from Mansfield Christian. So.
That's
And
great.
then today here, West Sellers on the other side for Norwalk
Yes.
was the district coach of the year, boys D2.
And Norwalk had a great season once
They
again.
did, yes.
Very competitive team as well. I saw them a couple times.
Yes, that was quite the match with Ontario, I believe, right?
It was
the district
they-
semis.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then even I saw them in the regular season against Ontario. Ontario went up big early, but then Norwalk kept chipping away and nearly evened things up towards the end. But quite the competitive squad this year, and they played. And, they
Yeah.
moved on in the tournament too.
Yeah, and then we had teams from our district that won district championships. Lexington on both the boys and the girls side. Worcester, that was really, that was a nice. They beat Strongsville.
Yeah, that
to
was
win that district, which
And
is
they had the
really-
pieces. Brandon French, the district player of the year. I saw him against Mansfield Senior, and he was just phenomenal. He's a
Yes.
great athlete and one of the main pieces of that district championship for Worcester. They have many players
Yes.
out here today. They have 6 in the lineup today.
Okay. Yep. And then Mansfield Christian boys.
Yeah, they're back.
They're back. Yes,
awesome.
That was nice to see them. Stephen Armstrong and his group won a district championship this year. So.
Yeah, Hayden, anything you want to add?
I think you almost covered it all. I would just say maybe you could ask him for me if he's still up there about what's his favorite part of getting all these guys together, as far as the ability to find a day that works to get all these guys down here and just have them play one more match. You could maybe ask him what's his favorite part.
Sure. Yeah, we've kind of established this game is always going to be played on the Sunday after the state finals. So that's kind of the date every year. We hope for good weather.
It's snowing already. Yeah,
I know, but it's not as bad as last year.
Yes.
So last year the boys played first in the snow, and then the girls, we had to stop the game at halftime because of too much accumulation of snow. So I'll take cold weather and no snow any day of the week. So, and if the sun would come back out, this is not a bad day at all. So, but yeah, so it's always played in that Sunday after the state finals. And it's a great opportunity to get. I think these kids really enjoy it, and we tried that first year that we tried that skills competition between games this year. So we'll see. We'll get some feedback and see if the athletes enjoyed that or not. So
Wonderful. Thank you.
As we continue on, Gasper again made a nice save down there a couple moments ago, but French and company again trying to get it ahead. The Weaver just couldn't collect it enough, and it's right into Gasper's grasp as we are 14 minutes in, still nil going on. I asked Brian this. I'll ask you, being a part of this district, the selection committee and everything, you've seen a lot of soccer, especially down at Clear Fork. The boys and girls squads did a great season. What's your best memory from this past season?
ooh,
And I'll ask you the same thing, Hayden, afterwards.
boy, best memory. I guess I'll speak from a district point of view.
We'll get both. District point
okay.
first.
Yeah, from a district point of view, and obviously the one. I think Worcester's run on the boys' side was a good memory. It was great to see that program, and I think JP has done a great job over there, and they're really starting to develop a program over there, and to again win the district championship and beat Strongsville.
Yeah,
of
that's
all
big.
schools. That's a real accomplishment and highlight of the year. Lexington girls run at the end. They played a very difficult schedule. I think they're not far over 500 when the regular season ended. And
They played a tough schedule, too.
No, I know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
played
yeah,
a very
yeah.
difficult
Yes.
schedule. Yeah. So, but then to beat Madison, Clear Fork, and Ontario to get that district crown was a nice accomplishment for Buck Morton and his group there. And then they lost to the eventual D2 state champs. I mean, Copley is unbelievable. So
French with a he tried the kick but just missed. As you take a look at the replay,
okay.
brought to you by Sutton Bank. But continue on.
Okay, yeah. So I
That surprised me at what he was
so
doing.
I wanted
Yeah.
to see the replay myself. So, another well, on the boys and the girls side in D2, another Lex Ontario battle there, on both sides there. So, all Richland. Oh my goodness.
Another great save by Gasper.
Kid's unbelievable.
Weaver
back
tried to
there.
get a ricochet but couldn't, and we stay scoreless. And now I know why he's such a great goalie in there.
That's right.
My goodness.
I'm not sure. No matter what happens in this game, he might get player of the game.
Yeah, right now, he's
That's
looking like an
right.
early
That's right.
MVP candidate
That's right.
20 minutes in.
Travis, I'm not sure who. That's I guess probably my initial thoughts. I mean, obviously I'm affiliated with the Clear Fork girls program. We played a difficult schedule. We had some nice wins over Big Walnut, Bexley. We lost to Rocky River, Ontario. We like to challenge ourselves down there at Clear Fork, and that's the only way you get better. The district as a whole, I think, had a really good year, and it's always fun again to see these athletes put their skills on display here at this All-Star game. So
Absolutely, and you hit all the points on the head that I was saying. Mansfield Christian being back, just the competitiveness of our Mansfield area girls squads,
Yes.
as well as Perkins with the knockoff Mansfield Senior in that sectional final to get to the district. I mean, the weather.
Well, and Mansfield
played a
Seniors girls
factor.
program.
Yeah,
How about
them.
that? I mean,
Them. I said Shelby too. They're on the
Yes.
up and up as well, and they got this beautiful facility to play on now.
Yep.
This is. Highland as well. They're trying to come in now that they're in the MWAC, but a lot of area teams, and then even the SBC, they're not quite to the spot on the girls' side to
Right.
where the Mansfield area squad is, but they're getting better. And this district's going to be one of the most, fun to watch here in a couple of years once the SBC teams is another save over the net. It'll be another corner kick, but geez, he's shown out early on.
Oh my gosh, he has.
But yeah, these SBC squads, they're really starting to get together. And I know it's just Mansfield area. They've had the AAU squads, these team squads that they're all playing together a little bit more than maybe up north. But
I think
they're starting to get
develop
together
those,
too.
I think they're trying to develop the club program up north, and that's just obviously going to help the high school programs. So without a doubt. So on the boys' side, it's a little bit more competitive. On the girls' side, it's definitely been pretty much Mansfield area Final Four for the last several years.
Or at least 3 of the 4 every time. Another bicycle kick is through the
yeah,
uprights.
Yeah. Well, and again, this year was a little bit of Madison's decision to place themselves down on the draw. Had a little bit. Usually
With
they
Clear
would've
Fork
gone
beating
up.
them or Lexington beating them in PKs.
in the sectional final as opposed. They were the 4 seed going in, so if they would have gone up, they would have probably gotten to the district semis against Ontario. So.
But another successful year
Yes.
in North Central Ohio for
Definitely.
soccer. A lot of accolades, a lot of good moments too, with all these great teams. Anything else you want to add before I let you get back to the work here?
Yeah, no, just I guess it's just a little bit about our district. And
absolutely.
And kind of how that whole process works. So, the all district teams and the all Ohio teams are selected by the coaches associations. So there's a difference in there's 10 coaches associations or 10 districts, and there's 8 OHSAA tournament districts. So it's a little different. So a little bit of our athletes getting more recognition is because probably before I became president, when Jerry White of Ashland was the president, so all these teams would have gone to either the Northwest District for honors, or the Cleveland area district, or the Akron area district. And so Jerry White, several years ago now, was instrumental in kind of carving out this North Central district, and it really gave us the opportunity to get our kids more recognition. So that was huge. Another nice save. Yeah, that's right.
And this is, I mean, he's save after save on the District Players of the Year in Division One.
That's right. So anyway, so that was huge. So forming this North Central districts gives us the opportunity then. So we meet at our district meeting usually the third Sunday in October. We select our all district teams. Out of those all district teams, there are a certain number of slots per division, depending on the number of teams in your district, that you then can move forward to be considered for All Ohio. And so that's what's exciting about the number of kids now that we get recognized at the All Ohio level as well. So and the biggest divisions on both the girls and the boys side is D2.
Yeah.
So D3 is growing though.
It is.
And then D1 boys was actually bigger this year than it ever has in the past. The smallest one is D1 girls. So,
Okay.
So and our district ranges from all the way down to Mount Vernon on the southern end to Sandusky, Port Clinton, all the way out to Oak Harbor on north. So there's 25 girls teams, 24 boys teams.
Nearly got the through ball.
That's right. And we encompass 10 counties that make up the North Central District.
Quite the large area here, and
Yes.
it literally is the North Central District. Just the outskirts of Youngstown, the outskirts of Toledo, maybe Cleveland as well, but everything else south, all the way down pretty much to the northern area of Columbus. It's all us.
And the Mount Vernon is because they're in the OCC, so they play a lot of Mansfield area schools.
Gotcha.
So that, again, those coaches.
That's not too far south.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So and Highland.
Yeah.
And then on Worcester is the same thing, sort of similar situation. Worcester probably geographically would make more sense to be in the Akron district, but again, because they play in the OCC, they play all these Mansfield area schools. The better chance of those kids getting recognized in our district. So.
All right.
So
and this All-Star game, I know we got onto it last year when it got moved down to Ashland, but it's a great way to show these seniors one more time.
Yes.
To everybody.
And I think we're going to try to make Shelby the permanent home.
I mean, it's an amazing place.
Yes.
Heated press box for us too, and but
Very
no,
important.
I mean, great. Yeah, even Hayden agrees
right,
on that one. Yeah, but even though Hayden's outside, I'm sorry, buddy. But it's a great venue, a lot of seating too. Another save by Gasper.
Yeah.
It's death taxes and Gasper making a save now for us.
Right.
But this is a great facility. I was telling Brian earlier, this is my first time here since they built it, and it's beautiful.
Yes, my first time as well. So, and we always have our district coaches meeting where we select the teams at Norwalk. We've traditionally always had it at Norwalk. So I wanted to try to find something a little further south, a little in between.
Yeah.
So there's equal travel for all the schools. So.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
Chris Locks,
Good to see you.
the president
Yes.
of the NCOSSCA. Thank you very much, sir, and enjoy the rest of the match.
Thank you very much.
As I welcome Hayden back in, at least the snow stopped.
Yeah.
But
for their sake, that's nice.
how about Angelo Gasper so far, though?
Woo! He's going to get tested right here.
And he makes another save,
my
rebound, he's on it!
goodness. This kid's playing lights out, Trav. These haven't been little, dinky attempts either.
No.
These have been legitimate shots on goal by some of the best in the district, and he's living up to the reputation right now. As Chris said, I think it's kind of hard to name a MVP a little bit over halfway through the first half, but he's got my vote right
25
now.
minutes in, he's been lights. I mean, if he continues to do that, even if maybe he does let a goal or two, that's still the job he has done.
Remarkable.
Phenomenal. So it is coming up on 15 minutes remaining. Now let's take a look at another player spotlight. Sean Putt, the kicker for the football squad and team captain of the Tiger Soccer Club, brought to you once again by Ontario and Clear Fork Athletic Boosters, Varsity Football National Honor Society Youth Group, and he was the 2022 team captain for Mansfield. Another one of those teams on the up and up. They played a competitive match against Worcester. As you and I both saw, you were on the camera for that. I was on color commentary with Brian Skoronsky. But the TY Tigers really, they had that match close the whole time until Brandon French really pulled away late. But that's another one of those teams that are, starting to make some noise once again in North Central Ohio.
Yeah, I remember that match. Feels like forever ago, but honestly, it was very competitive, very entertaining, and I think we had kind of said, that goal right before the end of the first half was kind of hard to overcome for them mentally, but definitely, as Chris mentioned too, on both the boys and girls side, Mansfield Seniors programs really starting to, get the respect they deserve. They've been putting in the work, and now it's time for them to start getting treated, like these legitimate programs that they're becoming.
Yeah. And it just adds, and I know you were listening in on everything, but it seems like also, we're talking a lot about Mansfield because we cover them a lot, but the SBC boys side, they have been established, but on the girls side, they're starting to get there too, and just give it a few years, we're going to have a really competitive, not only districts level, but also sectionals too.
Yeah, I think soccer in the area, while it's probably the sport that I don't get to cover the most often during the fall, it's definitely one of the most entertaining as far as there's not too many matches that, whether it's non-conference or conference, that is going to be too outbalanced or uneven. There's a lot of competitive soccer within the conferences around here, so that provides us with a lot of opportunity to see some competitive matchups.
Cross towards the top, but it's going to get cleared out once again, and we remain 0-0 coming up on 12 minutes left here in the first half. As the SBC squad, they're starting to get some offensive prowess going here. That'll be offsides. And let's take a look. The Ontario Athletic Department Booster Club wants to congratulate the three seniors on a great season. James Stewart, Brandon Littoral, and Gage Weaver. The three have a combined 58 goals, 47 assists between them as Ontario district runners-up once again. I mean, it's tough when you have Lexington in your same district, but the Ontario Athletic Boosters would like to congratulate those three Warriors on a great season. And speaking of Gage Weaver, nearly in there, Ontario, once again, another phenomenal year, Hayden.
Yeah, it's a real treat for spectators and media and such to have two teams with that talent level that both those programs had, just separated by a very small margin of distance, just a few miles. So tough for them because someone has to lose. And I think you kind of get to that point in the season, talking to some different coaches at every sport. If you get eliminated, you kind of start rooting for, maybe some of your opponents that you play a lot and have developed relationships with, even though it's love-hate. You kind of, you want to root for some of the guys locally. So
Great save on the other side. That is, I believe, Griffin Baker.
I think that was
or
the
Blakely.
First, yeah,
one of the two.
First look he's really had to kind of have all day. Hopefully he's been staying warm. Hasn't been a ton of action, but nice save on that. But
yeah, it's Griffin Baker, and I see Blakely sitting in his Clear Fork Letterman's jacket down on the bench. So Blakely, great, or I keep saying Blakely. Baker, the second-team All-Ohioan from Mansfield Christian with his first save, as that corner is going to get all the way through the box off the header and out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Mansfield squad. So on the board for saves now.
Well, and Travis, you were talking to Chris about his favorite moment through the season. I'm curious, obviously you and I cover a lot of volleyball, but we did get our share of soccer. What's one of your favorite memories from the soccer season?
As I was telling Brian, it was Mansfield Christian, the boys soccer squad. They had some down years, but Sean Armstrong back, and they are back. District champions, a really competitive regional semi. They lost to Ottoville 1-0 on a goal by a player named Mansfield, ironically. But amazing season for Mansfield Christian soccer. We expected it from Ontario, from Worcester with what they had, and from Lexington. But for Mansfield Christian to be back as well, and they still have some pieces coming. They have a lot of pieces coming back next season, so great for Mansfield Christian boys. And then the girls' side, the run Lexington had. PK's knocking off Madison, knocking the district champions in their reign out. Then going down 1-0 at the break to Clear Fork in the district semifinal, coming back out, scoring 2 goals and holding off Clear Fork 2-1. And then what they did against Ontario in that district championship game with the golden goal in overtime. So those would be my two key moments on both sides this season. As we are under 10 minutes left here, opening half.
Fortunately, looks like we got a little bit of an injury. I think he kind of tweaked his knee. Took an awkward bounce.
And that is not what you want to see here, especially in an all-star match.
No, yeah, hopefully nothing too serious. You could tell he was moving gingerly. And then I think kind of realized that it would be best to take a seat and not keep moving. Hopefully, like we said, nothing too serious.
So while we are in an injury timeout, let's highlight some more of these great athletes in here. And we were talking about them in our Ontario complete spotlight brought to you by their athletic boosters. But James Stewart, 11 goals, 21 assists, and he was the assist leader for the Warriors. We said Gage Weaver earlier, 37 goals and 14 assists, but James Stewart, one of those key players as well. When I worked at the other station with John Stewart calling the matches, he came around. He was around us before even making the varsity marks in his 7th and 8th grade years. So I've known James for a while, and a phenomenal year for him as well, helping lead Ontario to the district championship match once again.
Yeah, I'd have to say probably on the guys' side, those two teams that we've been talking so much about, Ontario and Lexington, would be some of my favorite moments, getting to see their programs a couple of times. And also, I know we've given them shout-outs already multiple times today, but one of the matches at the end of the year that turned into one of my favorite memories was honestly watching Lima Shawnee and Howland play down in Clear Fork. What a match that was. And both teams, for the distance they had to go, it was a great environment, and that turned out to be a really awesome environment. So for a match that we didn't know too much about going into it, it was definitely a fun one.
Yeah, it was absolutely fun to watch that. When you have a match of that hype.
And shout out to Lexington head coach Peter Tem on the call.
Well, I think the best part, yeah, he was great on the call.
Really
but
good job.
The videos we got from back in Lima, I think they were having somewhere they were having a watch party with the kids. So I guess they were babysitting for fans that wanted to come to the match, but they had it up on a big screen. And when Shawnee held it off, you see the kids counting down. They had their kits on too, and counting down. Once the game ended, they're all jumping up and down celebrating. That was a pretty cool video that we had sent to us. So thank you to them, those fans that are doing that. So we're back to action, under 9 minutes remaining here in the first half of this NCOSSCA Boys All-Star game.
Well, I think the weather, if you were watching the Ohio State game, if anyone was at all, it wasn't that beautiful in Columbus yesterday either. So maybe a little bit taste of what the state title match was like for these guys, getting to feel that today, because that's what those guys had to play in. And late on the ladies' side, too, yesterday I saw that it wasn't too pretty Friday or Saturday down there for.
And I think they got more rain than snow as well.
Yeah, Friday night was that rain, and then yesterday was the mix. So it wasn't the ideal weather for the state title matches.
But congratulations to all 6 squads on the girls and boys side for winning. State champions at lower.com field. That's a beautiful facility they have down there for the Columbus crew as well. It's cool for these kids to be able to, play on the big stage, Hall of Fame Stadium for football, where, they play the Hall of Fame game, where the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies play. You get to play on that, as we have another offsides. Come on, just let them play it out. It's an all-star game, but when you have the state referee of the year, he's going to call it. And he's going to call it.
He's got a reputation. He can't, he can't drop his guard.
Exactly.
All-star game or not.
Absolutely. But yeah, these players, it's cool. Volleyball, we were down there from Monroeville. They got to play on Wright State's court. Basketball, UD Arena, where the first 4s played, literally not even a week after the boys are done playing in the state tournament there. Like I said, Hall of Fame Stadium, lower.com field for for soccer. So these kids, not only they make it to the state level, but they get to play where the pros play too, where the big college teams play. So that just adds to the coolness of the state tournament.
100%.
Corner is flicked in, and another diving attempt and save. I believe I have 15 saves down right now for Mr. Gasper.
One of those records that is, being confirmed and looked into, wasn't it for like 30-some saves in a match?
It was more than that. I think it was like 56.
50-something crazy. So
now it's being reviewed because it just depends on what you think is a save and what the OHSA thinks is a save. Weaver tries to cross it to the middle, and that's going to get kicked right back out.
Wouldn't look like I had a chance if they would have been able to connect on the setup.
It was 59 marked as far as not unofficial, but 59.
Thank you to my producer, Adam Thompson, who's doing an amazing job today. He looked it up. 59 was the unofficial mark. Wow. It's French moving his way. We're going to get a free kick just outside the 18, so it's not going to be a PK, but it's literally going to be close enough. We'll see if Gasper can make another save, or if the Division I District Player of the Year, first-team All-Ohioan, can put this in the back of the net.
Well, I believe, to bring up Shawnee again, did I see they won in PK, too, in the state title match? Oh! We'll
Rebound score, Brandon Literal.
For Mansfield All-Stars.
I believe that is Literal that got it in.
Yeah, that's him.
And it is 1-0 off an original save by Gasper, but he is right there with the rebound, and it's 1-0. Mansfield.
Gets on the board right before half.
And a goal made by Brandon Literal of Ontario.
But as I was saying, I do believe that Shawnee won. They won 1-0 in penalty kicks. Can you imagine the pressure?
Yeah, and we saw, when Mansfield Christian won their state championship, it was in OT PKs as well. So,
Yes, it was. They lost the backside shooter.
So coming up on 5 minutes, and finally Mansfield breaks through on the rebound by Literal. In the 34th minute. And a lot, lower scoring than we saw on the girls' side, Hayden. 6-1 was the score. That shot into the net. Goal!
Goal!
Is that Literal again?
Take a look at the replay.
From 16 yards out.
And literally, you're right.
Excuse me, 10 yards onto that, too, for the end zone, too. 26 yards out.
The second team all-district players got 2 in a minute and a half.
Saw that first one go in and got that little bit of swagger going.
In the 34th and the 36th minute, Brandon Literal now taking over MVP voting, I think, as SBC trying to answer here before the break. And just making the deflection. It stays with the SBC. Finally flicked away. Cale Everode of Mansfield Christian with the play to get it out of the box. There's a shot deflected up, and it's going to be saved by Griffin Baker.
Yeah, good save, because there was a few SBC players lurking there in case could have got a second deflection point, kind of like they did down here on this side.
Weaver trying to get through. Has Depperschmidt just to his right, and there is Depperschmidt, the District Player of the Year in Division II, and it's another save.
Trying to imagine what it would be like to have Weaver and Depperschmidt on the same team.
Well, we get it here, but yeah, just thinking.
Right. Yeah, we do literally get it here, but
and maybe
in a
last year
more
with Parker
competitive
as
yeah.
well, you know. Weaver, Parker, Depperschmidt. Man. But that's the great thing about these All-Star matches, Hayden, is you get to see these, you know.
There's a difference.
I know. It's not for trophies or anything, but it's for glory, especially between these two. It's having the SBC come down here and say, "Hey, we're a good conference too. Let's beat these Mansfield squads that are constantly getting the district championships." Coming up on 2 minutes remaining. Hayden and I will break down the first half in the Directions Credit Union halftime. So that's advanced ahead, but just too strong, and it will be a goal kick. And I want to let you know, Hayden, that our Steelers are tied at the half 10-10 with the Saints.
There's just something. There's just something about those Steelers when we don't watch or don't get to watch where they are either tied or taking a lead. So I don't know. Good, we'll take it.
I saw we kind of blew it there at the end of the half where we'd be in the lead, but that's typical.
Time to start tanking.
It's time to start tanking.
And it's time for me to get in there here in the next minute 30 to retain some feeling in my fingers. Now, I'm not one to try and whine too much, but I'll just let everyone know all feeling is now gone out of my hands.
Welcome to winter, my friend. There's a shot on net. Diving save. Gasper. Keeps it 2-0 as we come up on 60 seconds left. A corner kick it will be for the Mansfield side.
I gotta say, these guys are a lot tougher than I too, because I'm sure that ball feels real nice with the speed that was on that one and how cold it is having to get the blocks on some of these. So shout out.
And maybe, you know, they added a couple extra layers of socks in there to help pad the feet.
Yeah.
That's going to be headed almost back in, but it will be kicked away as we come up on 30 seconds left here in the half. There'll be a throw-in, and we'll see if we can get the quick restart or we'll go into the break with this score. French trying to get into the box, though. Does he have something to say before the break? Avoids two tacklers, still has possession, crosses it. Still in the box with 10 seconds. Kicked. Another diving save and flicked away. And that should be how the half will end. But Gasper, great diving save once again.
1-0.
And that is the end of the first half.
Mansfield Area All-Stars.
Ontario's Brandon Literal breaking through twice in a minute and a half span as Mansfield Area All-Stars lead at the break 2-0. We will take a break and be back with the Directions halftime right here live and free on the OH Report.
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
Unbox the icons and turn up every moment with Frito Lay Variety Pack.
Back here in the Directions Credit Union halftime show, and I got Chris Laux back, president of the NCOSSCA, and you made a presentation earlier to our District Referee of the Year and State Referee of the Year.
We did, yes. Andy Bear. Recognized Andy again, and he's been a real asset to the area. I think he and his wife, who coaches at Mansfield Christian Girls, I need to be closer. Go here. Okay. So I think they moved into the area maybe 4 or 5 years ago now. I'm trying to remember, but came to the area with extensive soccer knowledge and referee knowledge, and then this last year became the Mansfield area assigner, which is a difficult job because, like, unfortunately, a lot of areas we have a real shortage in soccer referees, and so he did a lot of scrambling to get games covered this year. I know personally, talking to him, he did a lot of scrambling to make sure games were covered. Gave gas cards to some refs that had to travel a lot, thanking them for doing that. Moved games around in order to have them covered, and just did an outstanding job. This is the second year he was our District Referee of the Year, and then he was at the state meeting that I went down there and represented him at the state meeting. He was voted the OSSCA State Referee of the Year. So
congratulations to him. It's great to see, referees that put in the time and effort like he has, and we need more referees around here, don't we?
Absolutely. I mean, we have our parents meeting, before the season starts every year, and we talk about that. One, I mean, our parents for the most part are pretty good, but I think a lot of people don't go into refereeing because of parents, because of situations, and so I tell them, if we don't have any referees, then we can't play the game. So and the kids got to understand that they're not going to be able to go out there and play if we don't have any referees. So we encourage our athletes who have graduated, to look into, to stay involved with the game and look into what it takes to become a ref. And we are always looking for more area refs in order to be able to continue to play. So
if somebody wants to become a ref or interested, what is the best course of action to go do so?
Well, there actually is an area on the OHSAA website that you can go to about how to become an official, depending on the sport. Again, locally, they could probably just get a hold of Andy, and we could, get a hold of me, and I can tell you how to get a hold of Andy, and I'm sure he would help you start that process. So.
And you guys get a rare occurrence. Adam Thompson on the broadcast there with a great question because, like I said, we have some really dedicated referees that'll do multiple matches in a night, but we need referees all around every sport in the OHSAA. I know, some people won't do it because, parents, fans really get on you, coach. Yeah. It's stressful and frustrating, but for the ones that actually do it and stick with it because they know they want these kids to be able to participate in these athletic events, it's just hats off to these refs.
Yeah, and hopefully hopefully they realize that's really the main reason why, especially if you were an athlete. If you were an athlete of any sport and you realize that if we don't have officials, then the athletes that come after you can't play, it could be a good reason for you to get involved and make sure that doesn't happen. So,
SBC with their first corner of the day, but it's going to go too strong, and they will try and reset. Referees, we need you.
Yes,
we need you out there.
We do. So,
all right. I know you probably got to get back to work, but if you want to stay on the broadcast, feel free to, Chris. If not, I'll let you go.
I'll stay a few minutes, but then I do have to get
40
back.
degrees warmer in this.
That's right,
true.
exactly.
It is warmer in here.
I'm getting warmed up here, so it's not a bad day. I wish that sun would come back out again.
I know.
Though.
Yeah, it's starting to get more cloudy.
It was nice. It was nice for the girls' game. We had some nice sunshine, and that makes a world of difference. So, but no snow.
No snow. Well, I've seen some flurries, but nothing like we did last year.
No accumulation. I think during the girls' game, weren't they showing some highlights of last year's game?
Yes, they were. Well, I think the best part of last year was at the end of the boys' match. They were doing snow angels after goals.
Yeah.
They had they had quite the goal celebrations. Here's a give and go to Gage Weaver, but it's shielded off. Kicked outside the 18 for a moment, back to Jet Deppersmith.
So it looks like what's the St. Pete goalie's name again?
It is Angelo Gasper.
Okay, it looks like he's still
Yeah.
in the goal, so maybe the other guy didn't show up, or he's saying, you're doing a great job. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
The SBC does have Will Parcher from Huron listed.
Okay.
So we'll see if he's going to make it in here, or if he's on the list. We, with the coats and everything on the sideline, who knows who's over there and everything. So until they come in, we won't know. But yeah.
So Travis, you asked me the first time I was in here about my highlights or best moments of the season. What were yours?
So Hayden asked me this earlier as well, but I'll say it again. Mansfield Christian boys coming back now. They're great district championship. They have the pieces coming back as well. They were led by a couple of our participants today, Cale Everroad on defense and Griffin Baker in the goal, who's I think still in goal for the Mansfield squad. But them coming back, winning that district championship, taking Ottoville pretty much to the brink before losing, ironically, on a goal by a kid named Mansfield.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Preston Mansfield is his name, and he scored the lone goal in the first half. And speaking of goals, the Mansfield area squad back on the board. So we take a look.
I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah. It's a black kit. So I would say, is that Madison? Or Ashland? It's probably Ashland.
Yeah.
Yep. I would say then Jason Schneider, the midfielder forward.
Yeah, could be.
We'll wait and see who it is. I'm guessing it's an error, though. Nonetheless, it's 3-0.
That's one thing we're going to have to. I know we try to do, obviously doing a good job getting names spelled correctly and positions, but we're going to have to try to do a better job of getting some sort of number.
Some numbering, yeah.
Yeah. Now they bring, they wear their own jersey, but we should still know in advance, or at least mark it on there. So.
About like the track runners just clip on their own.
I'll clip their own, numbers.
Here's your number.
Oh, yes. There we go. I think last year I went down and collected all those numbers and brought it back up, but I need to do
And then the paper
better
got
job.
too wet as you're walking back with the
that's
snow.
right,
And
so. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Travis, on the Mansfield Christian boys, and they have they obviously have a very storied history of success, having won, a state title and been runner-up at least once, maybe twice. So it's nice to see that program, back on top again. So.
yeah, and then on the girls' side, the run by Lady Lex.
Yes.
Knocking off the powerhouse in Madison and PKs in the sectionals. That shot, it gets through. And just like that, he has 2 goals.
Mansfield Area All-Stars.
So just like literal in the first half,
Yeah.
within a minute and a half of each other, it's 4-0. 2 goals for him. So it's 4-0, 5 minutes into half number 2. But Lexington, Lady Lex,
Yes.
knocked off Madison. Then
Knock off Clear Fork.
they were down 1-0 to Clear Fork. And we're getting push-ups now for missing that. Okay, that's funny. That's some good stuff right there. Hey, you give up something, you got to do
right.
push-ups
That's
still,
right.
even if it's an all-star match. Down 1-0 to Clear Fork at the half, score twice in the second half, hold them off, make it to the district final, and then in overtime, the Golden Gold winning the district championship. I think that was a great run. Finally, Buck Morton getting through on the girls' side
Yes.
in the district. So those are my 2 memories. Are we going to have a hat trick here?
gosh,
That's
this kid.
deflected out. We'll get a corner.
Who did we decide that was?
I still...
Okay.
So I maybe Schneider or Ramirez from Ashland, I'm guessing.
I would say Schneider probably.
If anybody
was
in the
it-
comments
what
section,
was-
any
what-
Ashland fans,
Sorry.
I'm looking on Axe Preps, I'm looking on the OSSCA website, and there's no names, no rosters or anything. So hopefully,
Say that. They are commenting about Ashland. They want you to talk about them more.
Do we have the right name? Oh, okay, all right.
But then, yeah, Ashland Arrows, too. They are a squad in the OCC that's competing. A really good squad this year, too. I mean, they have a tough district just like Worcester.
Sure.
And they were able to make it, they had a competitive team as well. And,
Yes.
had,
And then
year in, year out.
and then the conference, obviously, Worcester.
Knocked off
Yes.
Lexington.
Yeah.
They've had some big wins. We were just saving Ashland to the second half. We couldn't get through everything in the first half, folks. We're trying to get, see, even Adam agrees with we give some Ashland love as well out there.
That's right.
But, the Arrows, year in and year out, the OCC is just the top end. Yes. And then maybe add Ontario in there because they play Ashland and those OCC
they're in the
teams
MOAC,
too.
though. Ontario's in
the
MOAC.
I'm just saying you add them in there because they're playing OCC squads.
Yep. That's the girls' side. I don't think they have any boys.
Oh, is that Roman Ramirez that scored?
It is, okay.
Roman Ramirez, so he has 2 goals. Thank you, Ash.
I got this.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Sorry about that. Sorry, Roman. What was his district on? Was he first team all district?
He was not. Oh, for district, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he was first team all district. So
that should be on here. Yeah, there we go.
Yep, first team all district for the Arrows. So Roman now tied with Literal, 2 goals each. And now we have a question of who's the best, who's the MVP out there?
No, yeah. Well, we got 32 minutes left to play, so we'll see.
We do. Depperschmidt trying to get it to Weaver off to the right side. Crossed in and too strong, though.
So on the boys' side in the OCC, again, how about the resurgence of Mansfield Senior?
Yes, Mansfield Senior, being competitive. I was talking about that. The Hayden out here, their match against Worcester, it was competitive. Yes. I mean, French, the better player, being district player of the year as well. He showed out, but other than that, Mansfield Senior played a competitive game with Sean Putt. Playing here today.
The Bolt family
yes.
coming back. Brian was the head coach there, and I think they spent some time over in Europe.
In Germany, yes.
And so now they're back. He's coaching again, and I think he had 3 sons on the team.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, so good to see Mansfield Senior out there as well. And the Crestview Cougars are starting to get their team
new program.
Going, new program. So
on the boys' side.
Soccer making appearances. Shelby?
On the girls' side. Be interesting
on the girls' side,
yeah. So.
As well, let's take a look at a player spotlight as he's into the match now. Max Rapola for Vermilion, the 2022 honorable mention SBC Lake, a 4-year soccer player, 1-year swim team member as well, 2 years peer leadership, Big Buddies, 2 years, Link Crew leader, National Honor Society, 2 years as their treasurer, fellow treasurer in the NHS, intended major philosophy pre-law, attending Miami University of Ohio, our Ontario Athletic Boosters, Clear Fork Athletic Boosters player spotlight. But that's great. Seeing these athletes do multiple extracurriculars as well.
Yes.
That's great for the not only, just to stay involved, but for the resume too. So any high schoolers out there are getting into high school, do some of that stuff. I was in Key Club. And it helped get me into college, those extracurriculars, playing sports, and then it just shows colleges that you're able to be involved in multiple things. So great to see that.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
And honestly, I mean, if you're involved in athletics and you're doing well in school, you're good with time management. There's a lot of things that you're doing well because your free time is very limited. Between practices and all the things, all the demands of playing a sport in high school. And I think sometimes actually that helps you become a better student because you do a better job, managing your time. So
we have more substitutions. I'm gonna let you go get Hayden back in here on the call.
Sounds
but
good.
We'll decide. We'll come back when you come back in here to get that ready.
Yes.
We'll decide who our MVP will be. But Chris, thank you once again as I bring back Hayden Gray. Hayden, thanks for sticking around with us on here on the call. But Ramirez really showing out here in the second half.
Yeah, once you guys up there were able to identify who he was, we can give him some credit to his
yeah,
name.
I apologize, man.
Yeah.
Ramirez, Roman. And for all the Ashland fans that are probably cursing my name right now, I apologize. But, hey, Ashland, that's another team, Hayden, that, constantly competing in the OCC. They had a big win. They had some multiple big wins in the conference. They were in the conference race until the end of the season as well.
Yeah, the
But
OCC.
knocking off Lexington earlier on in the season, too, was a big victory for them.
Yeah, the OCC was super competitive, and I think will probably stay that way for years to come.
Oh, especially, when you have teams like Worcester, like Lexington, Ashland. It started off 0-2, but it was Sylvania, and they lost to Midview. Then they beat Riverview. They beat Madison 3-1. They tied Findlay, and then the big 3-2 victory over Lexington. Their lone loss in conference was to conference champion and district champion Worcester, 6-1. But then at the end of the season, 6 straight victories. They beat Fremont Ross in the sectional championship, so they made it to the district semis before falling to Southview 6-5 in overtime. So another team, the runners-up in the OCC, Ashland. Great season for them that they were able to put up points too. 3 goals, 4 goals, 3 goals, 3 in their wins. 14 against West Holmes, 5, 3, 2. So multiple goals in all of their victories. And even in a couple of losses, they scored multiple. So this was a very offensive-minded squad from Ashland. So we continue play 4-0 here, almost 13 minutes in. So, since you are out, what's the weather report like out there, Hayden? Do we still have some snow falling, or is at least that stopping? I don't see many flurries from in here.
Yeah, I don't really see any flakes falling anymore, but I definitely do have to beg to differ with Chris. I do not think it's that great of a day. I think it's very cold, and I know that I'm not moving around as much as him, but I'm going to keep it real when I'm talking, and I think it's cold. I think there could be a lot better weather, but regardless, I think we can all agree we're just happy that you can see the field, and that was the biggest thing last year. You didn't want anyone getting hurt either.
Weaver with the through ball, puts it on net, and he scores. Gage Weaver.
Yeah, number 5 capturing the 5th goal for this Mansfield area boys squad.
55th minute, and it's 5-0 Lexington. 5-0 Mansfield area.
Yeah, it's safe to say that regardless of the level of seriousness that they're taking it today, the Mansfield area proving once again this year the gap that there is still between programs from up north and down more this way. Not that the SBC doesn't have its share of spectacular teams, but still definitely a bit of a gap as far as the success of the programs.
The first team All-Ohio, and once again, congratulations on a great season to all 3 Warriors that are selected to play in this match. James Stewart, Brandon Literal has 2 goals. Gage Weaver, who has a goal today as well. From the Ontario Athletic Booster Club, congratulations once again on a district runner-up season. As Weaver has a chance again. Oh, it's deflected away by the defender and right back into the hands of Gasper. We almost had a third player with 2 goals.
In under 3 minutes.
Yeah, again, within 2 minutes of each other. It's like they got one of those video game boosts for 2 minutes after their goal. They beast mode per se, but it remains 5-0. Under 25 minutes left here in this. And they're looking to add on again through ball, but a sliding save by Gasper. Got a stoppage, and we'll have some substitutions.
Hasn't been a lot of subbing for the Mansfield area team. I just kind of realized that today. There really wasn't that many substitutes for them.
And let's take a look at another entrant into the day. Cardi Woodward from Vermilion, 2022 season. Honorable mention, Lorain County Division II. Honorable mention, SBC Lake. 4-year soccer player, 4-year track athlete, Leo Club member, student council, and robotics. I wish I had robotics. Was there robotics here at Shelby? That was something I want. Actually, my high school had it my 8th grade year, but then the teacher left and they just locked the robotics cabinet and nobody had the key to it, so it just remained a locked up.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, thanks. So we didn't. I wanted to do it, but that's cool. Once again, Player Spotlight brought to you by the Ontario and Clear Fork Athletic Boosters.
Yeah, no, we didn't really have a specific robotics class. Now that there was certain camps when you were younger called Camp Invention, where you were children, so it wasn't probably the same robotics that young man has been working with at the high school level, but that was kind of fun. But yeah, nothing too extreme as far as robotics go on the class list. But hey, it's been a little bit. I know you talked earlier about how I'm not the oldest yet, but still, it's been a good minute since I've been in high school, so I don't know. They may have changed some things here in the course catalog at Shelby.
Once again, there's Gasper with another save. So that's kicked out of bounds for the SBC. We've seen the SBC, though, pick it up offensively since, the midway point of the first half, Hayden.
The pace has definitely been quicker for them. They've been able to get the ball down in the attacking position, but just haven't had the success with shots, attempts, or shots on goals that the Mansfield area team has had.
And now we have a dilemma on our MVP.
Yeah.
Literal, Ramirez, Gasper. Who knows? We still have 22 minutes left. As that ball just stopped right on the line. The Worcester player thought it was going to go out, but it just stopped there. We continue on. Coming up on 21 minutes left here on this Sunday afternoon. We got some football on the TV and football on the OH Report. How's your fantasy team doing today, Hayden? Have you taken a look?
No idea. I have zilch clue. I'm proud of the way they've been performing this year, but I'm going to admit, didn't really have too much time to put effort into it this week. So hopefully whoever's on my roster today plays well and goes out and, as Storm would say, just has fun.
Just hope they have fun, yep. The Lexington players out there dishing it off to Gage Weaver with the cross, and it's going to be a corner. It's Mansfield leading 5-0, looking to add on once again. And it will be one of the Worcester. I think Alex Navarro out there with the corner, but right into the hands of Gaspar. We'll get our fan zone up for you folks. I know in my game last night, Lucas Danville, I had a ton of comments. I think over 200. So thank you, as always, to the fans out there for commenting. There's a nice save there for the keeper from Mansfield Christian, Griffin Baker. More substitutions in, and as I say that, coming on is the Clear Fork keeper, Griffin Blakely. And well, I know the Clear Fork Athletic Boosters would like to congratulate Griffin on another successful season leading the Colts in goal and switching jerseys. One of those rare times where you see him playing attacking and playing in the goal each and every match, Hayden.
That's got to be entertaining. You know, I would always wonder whether you'd want to just have one that you were focusing on more than the other, but I think that kind of makes you more elusive as a player, the ability to go do that, and keeps people on their feet, too. You don't know, all right, if you're a team that maybe doesn't see Clear Fork as often, that can be maybe a little intimidating to see him switch jerseys, and you begin to realize, hey, this guy's pretty good.
As we pull up our fan zone, Josh Young says Isaac Chatwood MVP. Sergio, shout out Willard Seniors. So that's deflected out, and there are 4 Willard Seniors. Ivan Salas, Josu Gonzalez, Manolo Perez, and Sixtos Gonzalez. The Willard Seniors. All 4 listed as defensemen, at least partial. Perez, defenseman, midfielder. Salas, defenseman, forward. Continuing on, Jim Smith. Ashland beat Ontario and Lexington. That's why I saved them for the second half. The best for last, right, guys?
Wow, Trav, way to know your soccer.
Well, it's because you and I were on volleyball a lot too, Hayden. Shout out Monroeville. But I did get a couple, I did not get a chance personally to see Ashland this year. Did you, Hayden? I don't know if you were able to do a highlight of them or not, or you were on a match.
I don't believe I did. I think the last time I would have seen them was I remember we did a very entertaining and exciting live stream there, I think last postseason.
I think we did just one girls match live this year. But Ashland always a great team, and like we said a little bit ago,
I did get to see them for a pregame against Madison. I was there getting some pregame shots for Storm, and so I got to see them warm up.
There you go. That was more than me. But because we have the great Jesse Ryder and Brian, our soccer experts per se, late in the year we were able to see more soccer though. You and I did Madison, Mansfield Christian boys down there late in the year, and I was able to do that Mansfield Christian regional semifinal match at Tiffin. But we didn't get a lot of soccer this year, you and I, did we?
Occasional highlights here and there for me, but with soccer, that's honestly probably what I prefer. Definitely enjoy getting to hop on the mic, but obviously not as well versed as you mentioned, the great Jesse Ryder, or a various other grouping of people that commentate soccer for us, but always fun getting to go and make highlights. And
I apologize. We did have one match. Ashland took on Clear Fork, so if you would like to watch the Ashland Arrows in action, the boys' side, you can go to our main YouTube page or our Facebook timeline. You have to scroll down some because this was back in October on the 13th. But we do have a stream of Clear Fork Ashland. I believe Jesse Ryder was on the call with Brian Skoronsky that night too. So Ashland, we did get you this year. So that was a victory for the Arrows too. So it was Brian and Garrett Storm. Garrett Storm was on camera. Garrett was on call. Brian Skoronsky there as well. So we do have that. And for fans, always free. We live 90% of the time unless it's the state semifinal, but always free to fans whenever you want to watch it. If you want to watch something from 2 years ago, it's free. Always on the OH Report, YouTube and Facebook. And Adam Thompson has done an amazing job trying to sort things out so you can easily find it. Instead of just going up to the search page, searching the team, OH Report, and the team, you can just go to our page because Adam Thompson's done an amazing job with that. As always, all the graphics, Adam Thompson there too. Our audio, producing both matches and the skills competition today, making things easy for us when we come in here to call matches. So, shout out Adam Thompson. He also was on the mic. That's a very rare occurrence today, asking a question to Chris. And it was a very good question because we do need referees out there, Hayden.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's very critical. Quite honestly, one of the most critical aspects to be able to go out and compete. So I obviously we talk a lot on our broadcast about how personally we wouldn't want to.
That's
because of
more,
some of the
that's more
aspects,
shout outs to the
yeah.
referees that will do that, because they take all the grief. And I know, nowadays parents may get a little
certainly
overreacting sometimes, and
but yeah, get out and officiate if you have an interest in the sport, and especially with soccer, helps you stay in shape too. You don't even need a gym membership if you're an official for soccer.
No, you get a workout. There's a shot on net, but it's saved. And a quick reset for the SBC. There's one of those Vermilion Sailors with possession. Trying to advance it ahead, but unable to, as Cale Everode is there. So, another great stat from our Adam Thompson. After each match, we do our MVP interview. Thank you to our sponsors. Also today, our MVP sponsor. But we have almost 600 MVP interviews that you can see on our YouTube page, easily on our YouTube page, or if you want to just keep scrolling on our Facebook timeline as well. But over almost 600. You go to playlists, go to our main OH report page, go to playlists, and then move on over, and it should be MVPs. It's under interviews. So you go interviews, most valuable player, and 590 interviews. And we're adding 2, so we're at 592 after today, but that also means 592 streams or highlights that we have done. So the OH report, minimum of that, because we did more before that, before we started doing our MVP interviews. So
About 5 shy from 9,000.
we've had a lot, just to say. But it's great to show these players when they show out on the field. We like to give them an interview and give them some love as well. So we'll do that again with our player today. Sydney Poland already took one for Loudonville, couple goals. She also got $1,000 in a scholarship, as will Braxton Hunt from Ashland. So congratulations to those two. Here comes Chris, so we may be closer to determining who is our MVP. 12 minutes left, though. So will Weaver tie things up with the goals for his second? Will Literal get a hat trick? Will Ramirez get a hat trick? Well, you got to stay tuned for the last 11:38, as Ramirez and Literal both will check in next stoppage. So just discussing with Chris, we still don't know who our MVP is going to be. But a change, actually.
Oh, no.
Griffin Baker is in goal right now.
Oh.
Blakely, number 13, is now an attacker. So Blakely was back there in goal earlier.
Okay.
Now it's Baker in goal. So my apologies once again to Mansfield Christian and Clear Fork folks. So it's Baker. Baker now in goal. Blakely was making the saves, made a couple saves earlier on, but now he is up as a forward. And he might be getting the ball right here, but still kind of undecided on who the MVP. We're going to wait the next few minutes to see if one of those guys break through, and then I'll leave it up to Chris for the decision, because I have no idea who I'm going to pick. So yeah, Chris happy at that. And the comments too, comments section as well. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Literal? Is it going to be Ramirez? Right now, those are the two. If Weaver gets another goal, as he's about to check back in as well on the next stoppage. So get in those comments section. Let's see who is our MVP right now. They'll also get a trophy, a little mini plaque from Chris and the NCOSSCA. Sean Putt moving it backwards. SBC trying to get there, but it's kicked back to Griffin Baker of Mansfield Christian and advanced ahead. Off the head of the other keeper. Now turned forward. Under 10 to play.
Josh Young wants us to interview the entire Mansfield team.
Do want to give a shout out to Josh Young of Ontario, recent graduate of Ontario High School, now playing college ball, for tuning in today. But Josh, I will say we are interviewing one player. We don't have enough space here in the press box to fit everybody. But I appreciate you commenting and continue to, bud. Nice seeing you out there. Hope everything's going well in college. We've made a decision, I think. So that means that the other player is probably going to score again and completely throw that out of whack. But nonetheless, we're not going to tell you, though, until the end of the match. That shot wide left. It'll be a free kick. I'm not telling you either, Hayden. You're going to be surprised, too. As everybody checking back in, the starters will be back in here to finish off their high school careers here. I don't think there's another all-star soccer match, unless it's a state one. Maybe.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of.
Well, it's because this one's so great. You don't have to think about others. And it's only a 15-minute drive for me. Free kick is away. The North-South Classic, yes. Oh.
Yeah, I thought that was football.
That is football, actually.
I
can't
know
read
this is
today,
also
Hayden.
football, but
I can't read today, Hayden. Although we have had a lot of local players on the football side play in that North-South Classic.
yeah.
Did your friend Brendan Armstrong play in that one? Or was he elected? I thought he played in one of those All-Star games, other than ours.
I feel like I should know that, but I'm not sure.
Ooh, nutmeg! And a foul. I think that's the best play in soccer right there, the good old nutmeg.
Yeah.
It is the holidays. You're gonna put a little nutmeg on your hot chocolate, on the whipped cream of the hot chocolate, a little bit of nutmeg right there.
Go for any form of warm beverage right now.
Yeah, you're doing a heck of a job out there freezing your feet off. Blakely will take the free kick. The Colt puts it on. Oof.
Oh,
that is not going
had
to
to
feel good
hurt.
in this cold.
No.
That's another respect to soccer players for just, using their bodies literally as a wall on those kicks. I saw a match, I think it was Ashland, Ontario, back a few years ago when I was with the other company. Time was running out. Ontario was up 1. Ashland going in. They went for a huge kick from about 50 yards away, right off the face of the Ontario defender and back. You heard the thud. We saw the replay, too. It was one of those slow-motion replays where the face gets all deformed real quick and then goes back.
Yeah.
It was you could hear the thud from Mansfield, literally. It was wicked. But that's what soccer players do. They just throw out their bodies there, as Blakely will check back out possibly for the last time today. So we are under 6 minutes to play. Literal tries to advance it into Weaver, but it's taken out. SBC trying the counteroffensive, but stolen away. Literal from 35 yards out. His pass is intercepted. I want to thank our sponsors one more time. Directions Credit Union, our pre- and post-match sponsor. Sutton Bank, our replay sponsor, and then the Ontario and Clear Fork Athletic Boosters. They are our player spotlight sponsors as well. Thank you all for allowing us to bring this NCOSSCA All-Star, Senior All-Star match, girls, boys, and the skills competition to you live and always free on the OH Report. Can the SBC get on the board? That's going to get flicked out of there. So no, not yet.
Did they score last year, Travis?
I
I'm
forget.
trying
I think
to
it was
remember.
like 2-0. I just remember snow.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to remember if anyone scored legitimately or not, or if they just kicked a big snowball through the net and everyone forgot that the real ball was
It
back
turned
in
into
midfield.
one. That shot right at Gasper. Hayden, 7:45 left. Steelers up 20-10.
Wow.
And the defense is really playing out today. Hey, what the job that T.J. Watt does. 3-0 was the girls' score.
Okay.
Adam is doing a great job. He's doing extra work for us. That is hats off to Adam Thompson today. He was playing dad and producer the last week. As that shot in, and a Worcester General is on the board. We'll have to wait for the official calling on who scored there for the Generals. It was not French, though. De La Fuente or Navarro, I believe. In the 76th minute.
Uh-oh.
4-0 SBC. So I was off by 2 goals.
Well, the SBC won last year?
No,
Okay.
SBC lost by 4 goals.
Okay.
I meant Mansfield won 4-0. In the whiteout that I'm seeing of the screenshot, yeah.
Okay.
I was wearing my Steelers jersey last year, too. Gage Potter was the MVP.
Yeah, I remember. I don't really think I knew. I think we
was
were
thinking about wearing
prepared.
that
We
today,
knew it
too.
was going to be cold.
That was the game that the Steelers tied Detroit.
Yeah. So deflation on top of deflation that day.
And frozen body parts.
We knew it was going to be cold, but I don't think we expected what happened, because then I remembered after that going to beat-ups to watch the Steelers and debated even driving out to Ontario from Ashland with the weather, because no one was prepared.
I mean, Adam's always prepared for the warm weather, the warm clothing for the weather, but all of us, we're stubborn.
I try to prepare as much as I can. I mean, you saw. I mean, how many layers I had coming on out here, and still,
it's just
the
that
old
cold
phalanges get really cold.
Absolutely. So last 2:20, 6-0. So Mansfield area improves by 2 goals so far on the SBC from last season. 2 goals by Literal, 2 goals by Ramirez, 1 by Weaver, and then 1 by a Worcester General. I believe either Navarro or De La Fuente. So once again, Mansfield area is going to be victorious. Also, Browns fans, Miami just scored again. They're up 39-17.
I shouldn't laugh because we're terrible this season, and probably most of our viewership is Cleveland Browns fans. But
I want to see what the fan zone will say now.
But ha!
That's going to be advanced down the right side. But again, it's going to be kept actually in the box. Can they get the cross? 2 Generals right there to flick it out. It's going to be a corner with 1:12 left. Call 1-800. It's cold. Help Peta Hayden.
Yeah,
Call today. Representatives are standing by. They're actually not, but that's good, Adam. Well done,
we'll still
sir.
be here for a little bit. So yeah, if anyone's near Shelby High School
Help
wants to
Peta
drop off a
Hayden.
coffee, we won't turn it
Now
down.
all we need is just the sad music in the background.
Yes.
Only you can
And
help
just a
Hayden
black and white picture.
be warm this
Yeah.
holiday season. Open net.
Champion.
Shot. It's in.
There they
SBC
go.
is on the board with 39 seconds remaining.
Looks like a flash out of Willard. Don't have names in front of me, but
I know it was a player in a white kit.
from Willard. I saw the crimson flashes on the front.
Ivan Solis. One of those Willard flashes the shout out.
Happy to see the SBC boys get on the board.
in the 80th minute. .30 seconds left, and quickly on the offensive is the Mansfield squad.
They want
French,
one more.
left side, crosses it in to his teammate who just scored. But SBC gets it out there. 23 seconds. Can they add one more? It's going to go all the way out to Alex Depperschmidt of Lexington. 10 seconds. Can Mansfield get one more? It's going to get flicked out, and that's going to do it. So the SBC does get on the board, but it's all Mansfield. They win it 6-2-1 in this senior all-star game, the boys' side of the NCOSSCA. We'll take a break and be back with our MVP. We'll let you know who it is when we come back, live and free on the OH Report.
In today's world of supply chain shortages and disruptions, having raw material or finished goods inventory on hand to fill customer orders is more important than ever. Based in North Central Ohio and with locations nationwide, including 5 throughout the Buckeye State, MWD Logistics can find your business the warehouse space needed to manage your distribution and logistic needs. Grow your bottom line with flexible warehousing solutions at MWD Logistics.
Unbox the icons and turn up every moment with Frito Lay variety packs.
Time now for our MVP today, and it is Ashland. Roman Ramirez, 2 goals to start the second half within a minute and a half of each other. First of all, congratulations on another win for the Mansfield area for yourself, Roman. And just take me through the 2 goals. It seemed like your team was really applying the pressure the whole time.
Yeah, so we were able to move the ball really well. A lot of these guys I've played with in club, and over the 4 years, we were able to get to know each other. I received the ball off the kind of like deflection. Second goal, I able to place it bottom corner with my left foot. So nothing special, but able to put it away.
How cool is it to be able to play with some of these guys that you faced before? I mean, you guys beat Ontario and Lexington. You're playing with them now. Just some of these guys that you maybe wish you'd be able to play on a high school level, you get to this time. Yeah,
some of the guys out there are some of my best friends I've played with over the years, especially growing up. A lot of talent out there, and being able to work with each other shows the amount of talent that is in the area. And it's just a wonderful time to be able to play with them.
And you guys, really successful season. You knocked off Lexington. You knocked off Ontario. You were the runners-up in the OCC. You won a sectional championship as well in a tough Division I district. How nice is it to be able to finish off your year here, but all in all, just have a great season as a team?
Yeah, coming into the year, we came in as underdogs. We lost pretty much every starter. Started fresh. Coming in the preseason, we were able to find some new players, work with some new guys, and we were able to come up on the top with a few games. And yeah, it was a very fun season, and came off with pretty big wins.
And now, I mean, I don't think, are you playing in any other All-Star events?
No.
So this is pretty much your last high school soccer match. Can you reflect on your 4 years as an Arrow?
It's been a really good time. Playing all 4 years at the varsity level, I was able to make some friends over the time. The coaches helped me a lot, putting me in different positions. And, yeah, it's just a very fun time.
All right, and lastly, if you want to look into the camera, give anybody a shout-out that you like, go for it.
I want to give a shout-out to my coaches, all my friends, especially the guys I've played out on the field with tonight, and a special shout-out to Brody Schultz.
All right, Roman Ramirez, 2 goals to start the second half as the Mansfield area wins this 6-1. Congratulations on a great game and a great career with Ashland, Roman.
Thank you.
All right. That will pretty much wrap things up. Hayden Gray, back with you. Any final thoughts?
Awesome to have Roman up here in the booth with us. It was a great match overall today, and now everyone has a chance to go get warm and watch this back as many times as you want.
Yeah, and 6-1 will be the final. Thank you once again to Roman Ramirez, our MVP, but I think that'll wrap things up. So I want to thank our sponsors one more time. I want to thank Sutton Bank, our replay sponsor, Directions Credit Union, our pre- and post-match sponsor, as well as the Ontario and Clear Fork Athletic Boosters. They were our player spotlight sponsors. But that'll do it here from the NCOSSCA Senior Girls and Boys Soccer matches. I want to thank Hayden Gray on camera and color, Adam Thompson producing audio, video design, everybody back at the OH Report, Brian Skoronsky, Jory Hollenbeck. Once again, our sponsors, as well as our other sponsors from the girls match on here as well. I want to thank the folks here at Shelby. Amazing venue for allowing us to come here. Special thanks to Chris Laux, the president, for getting us involved. And most importantly, you, the fans, for watching. Mansfield wins the boys while we had the mixed squads show off for the girls. For Hayden Gray, I'm Travis Berardi saying so long from Shelby.